This is the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show, sponsored by your North Texas Chevy dealers. Together, let's drive.
Welcome to the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show, coming to you from Cleveland, where the Cowboys absolutely beat down the Browns today, 33-17. I'm Joe Trahan, joined with the uber-talented Andrew Cely, who will get us through this show. He will guide us through the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. But before we get to any of that, hey, Andrew, what's on the show tonight?
Well, let's get right into it.
Here's What's on the Show, sponsored by NFM.
Joe and the boys are out in Cleveland. Dak's deal finally got done right before the season started, and then they kind of blew out the Browns in a way that we all expected, right? And as a quick shout out to the SMU volleyball team who took down second-ranked Nebraska earlier this week, we've got the top 5 sports upsets of the 21st century. Joe, that is what's on the show. Now, who's on the show?
Hey, we got our great friends on the show. And listen, we're talking Cowboys, and these guys are on the beat. They cover it all the time. First of all, we've got the one and only Clarence Hill from the newly launched DLLS. It's been fun to watch that, Clarence. We appreciate you being on the show tonight. We've also got Saad, Yousuf. He joins us as well. Great work for The Athletic and other things. He's on the ticket as well. These guys are embedded. They know the deal. So let's jump into this thing and talk about this game, because you made a good point, Andrew. We didn't see it going this way. The fact that the Cowboys won didn't surprise anyone, but the way it went with that dominating defense setting the table. Clarence, what stood out most to you?
Defensively, I mean, they just swarmed. I mean, they it wasn't just Michael Parsons, it wasn't just DeMarcus Lawrence. It was DeMarvion Overshawn beating down Cleveland Browns like Texas beat down Michigan.
I knew that was coming.
You know it was coming, right?
I knew it was coming. I mean, it was coming.
Fast all over the field. He led the team with 11 tackles. He had a sack. I mean, this is what we thought we were going to see last year. That defense was quite impressive. Certainly the Browns were without their 2 tackles. They're out, they're starting running back, but they just made Deshaun Watson almost like a JV team. Did they even go to training camp? That was just some bad football.
What'd you think, Saad?
Well, I'll stay on the defense for a second, and I'll go to the guy next to Overshown and Eric Kendricks. You talk about a signing that was so important for this team coming into this offseason. They didn't even have linebackers playing linebacker last year, and for Kendricks to have 2 sacks. By the way, the first time he's had 2 sacks in a game since he did that against Mike McCarthy's Packers in 2016. So for him to do that and tally an interception, and we're talking about the defense, we haven't even mentioned Micah Parsons, who had another dominating performance. And on the offensive side, to me, I was shocked by how good Ezekiel Elliott looked. I'd love to see if he can maintain this for a full season, but it was a hell of a start for him in Cleveland as well.
Yeah, what about you, Andrew? What'd you think?
I thought, to me, like you guys kind of pointed at it, the defense was the most remarkable part of it, but at least where the offense is concerned, I thought they kind of weathered that first blow. That initial sack that Dak took, I thought was going to be a portent of things to come for the rest of the day, but they got the ball out quickly for the rest of the game. It really felt like they were in control on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Joe mentioned it in the sports special a couple minutes ago. The running game still needs some work, obviously, but Saad's right. Zeke was way better than I expected coming into this, and I liked how they used him, not just taking him out of the backfield, but getting him out in space, letting him actually run over some guys for once, or at least try and make some guys miss. Joe, what'd you think?
It was interesting. It was interesting in the locker room because Zeke even said it himself. He said, listen, this is the first game. Of course I'm going to be fresh. I need to be that way in December, and I think that was the best point there. And we'll get to the offense, but I don't want to leave that defense just yet. A couple of things. Micah Parsons told me, man, Deshaun Watson's hard to get on the ground. There were a couple sacks that he thought he was going to get for sure, and Watson just scampered away. So I am really curious about how this Mike Zimmer defense is going to dial things up against a quarterback like they face next in Carr. And listen, he's got some mobility, but not like Deshaun Watson. He's not as slippery and as good on his feet and as nimble and as nifty as Deshaun. So I'm looking for big things from this Cowboys defense, which leads me to this, Saad. What do you think about the way that Zimmer dialed up the defense? Because late in that second quarter, it was bad. I mean, the Browns were just giving up. They were running on 3rd and long. At the end of the half, they couldn't even run a 2-minute drill. You don't often see that in the NFL.
No, and I thought you were asking a great question after the game to all the defenders, Joe, when you were asking if Zimmer got into Cleveland's head. And I do think that happened. You could just see how confused they look. Deshaun Watson hasn't been pressured like that in his career. Literally, statistically, it was one of his most pressured games of his NFL career. And I thought, another thing that stood out to me on that front when we were talking to Trayvon Diggs, he said that they have more than 50 calls on defense, and they only got to like 3 of them. So it's not like, even though it looked like Dallas threw the kitchen sink at Cleveland, there's still a lot more creativity to come from Zimmer.
Listen, it's a great point. And again, Clarence made a great point as well, because they were down a couple of tackles, including their starting left tackle. So I don't want to go too far with it, but I haven't seen, the confusion aspect of a defense like that in a long time. All right, we got plenty more to talk about. Cowboys get the big blowout win, 33-17 against the Cleveland Browns. We're going to take a break, but we're talking about Dak's contract when we get back.
Today's headlines, sponsored by your North Texas Chevy dealers.
Big day for the Cowboys. Quarterback Dak Prescott signs a new contract worth $240 million, making him the highest paid player in NFL history, and Dallas starts 1-0 with a dominant victory over Cleveland. Marcus Semien hits 1 of 3 homers on the day as the Rangers beat the Angels 7-4, taking 3 of 4 in that series. And Yannick Sinner takes down Taylor Fritz in straight sets, 6-3, 6-4, 7-5, to win the men's U.S. Open title.
We were all wondering when and if the Cowboys would strike a deal with quarterback Dak Prescott, and we probably shouldn't have been surprised that Jerry Jones would do it mere minutes before the kickoff of the first full Sunday of the NFL season, trying to steal the weekend for the NFL. And you know what? He did, because it's what everyone was talking about. Dak Prescott signing that mammoth 4-year, $240 million extension. It includes an $80 million signing bonus and $231 million of it guaranteed. All those are record numbers. Dak Prescott, the highest paid player in NFL history. What's your first initial reaction when you hear that, Clarence?
Well, it's what we expected. I mean, that's just it. I mean, it's shocking. The numbers are shocking, but the numbers have been the numbers since last spring. I mean, the number came out, it was going to be $60 million. And people didn't want to believe it. People just, because the highest paid quarterback is making $55 million. But the Cowboys set it up when they had Dak on this 4-year deal, $160 million deal, with a $55.4 million cap figure, a no tag clause, a no trade clause. He would get. The scary part is he could have got even more in open bidding process as a free agent. So yeah, the numbers are astronomical. The numbers are crazy, but the numbers are kind of what we expected. The thing is, what took Jerry so long to get this done? Because we knew what it was going to be. And I asked Dak if he and Jerry were planners. They had that old tete-a-tete last week, and Dak, I don't trust anything he says, and Jerry says, we don't need to sign Dak to a deal. Then a week later, it gets done. Of course, we all know deadlines make deals for Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. There was an unofficial line of demarcation with the start of the season to get this deal done, and they got it done right under the wire.
Well, listen, I thought it was interesting. You're right, because as soon as Trevor Lawrence got paid $55 million, that became the floor of any Dak Prescott deal and probably the subfloor, and that's why we are where we are now. It did feel like there was a lot of theater involved to have it take this long. What was your take on that part of it, Saad?
Well, I think we've seen this happen with the Cowboys and Jerry Jones in particular, but Dak Prescott is a very professional person. He's somebody that doesn't let these things become personal, doesn't get his feelings hurt too much. I mean, we saw this happen with CeeDee Lamb just now with the tweet, the LOL tweet from Oxnard. We saw it happen with Ezekiel Elliott, with the Zeke Who comments. This is just the way the Cowboys do business. At the end of the day, I think the players understand that when if they get what they're looking for, and by the way, most of the time they do, I should say all the time in recent history, they do get what they're looking for. As long as that happens, everything's water under the bridge. Dak is not holding any grudges. I know he wanted to be in Dallas. He wants to be the Cowboys starting quarterback, and now he will be for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, Dak said something really interesting in the press conference after the game today. He said, listen, not only do I understand the business, I don't take any of it personally. Even if this deal would not have gotten done before today, he said he wouldn't have, been no ruffled feathers at all. He understands it's just the way that business goes. And he also understands being a quarterback in this league and being Dak Prescott meant that he was going to get paid regardless, whether it was from the Dallas Cowboys or someone else at the end of this season when he became an unrestricted free agent. So he had all the leverage. He used all the leverage. And listen, it's something that Jerry Jones should not only deal with, but he should applaud, because it's what Jerry Jones does all the time. Most of the time, Jerry Jones has the hammer, and he's not afraid to use it. Dak had the hammer this time, and he used it. And I don't blame him at all, because that is how the NFL goes. Andrew, what do you think about the deal?
I'm just dumbfounded by this little bell curve we've done as fans or observers of this entire thing, where we spend the beginning part of the offseason basically saying they've done nothing to go all in. They haven't done anything in free agency. Then they sign the three guys, which is two of the three guys. We haven't gotten to Micah yet, but they've signed two of the biggest free agents that everyone knew was going to be on their radar, just like they said they would, which we were critiquing at the beginning. And now all of a sudden, when we look at the cap structure of it, everyone's kind of coming around and go like, we understand that they're all in again. So in many ways, they've won this cycle. I think the question still remains, though, how they build off of these contracts for the future. Because I think a number of people have mentioned this does free up cap space for them to add to the roster moving forward. Clarence, how do you foresee that impacting things?
Well, I just want to do a point of order for a second. This doesn't mean they're all in. Okay, all in means signing free agents.
Right.
Wait.
But I've seen the term floated around. That's the whole point. It's on Twitter. People are coming around all of a sudden.
I understand Twitter people coming around. I'm just
Clarence,
dealing with all in.
Hold on. They just signed the largest contract in NFL history, and then the second largest non-quarterback contract in NFL history. I mean, I get what you're saying. They obviously could have done more in free agency. I think, and I said this earlier, at least Jerry could make a claim to being all in now.
No, we're talking about two different things, okay? Signing your own guys is not all in. That was the plan all along. Even when he was talking about all in, the plan was to sign their own guys. You're letting the money confuse the conversation. All in does not necessarily mean just signing your own guys. It's all in, doing whatever you can to add talent to the team to make sure you have a winner on your team. Signing these guys does not add to the talent from last year. They were here last year. Dak and Cely were here last year. Re-signing them does not make you all in. It just makes you committed to the guys that you've always been committed to, because you sign your own guys. To me, all in means going and doing something different than you've done in the past. And they have not done that.
Clarence getting so fired up, knocking the camera over.
Yeah. So it means doing something different. And going forward, yes, they have cap room, and they're going to sign Micah Parsons. Talk to me when they do something more than sign their own guy. That's just it. That's what we're talking about.
I think that's fair.
Because when Dak, because people keep talking about that. I go back to 2016 when Dak was on a rookie deal. Zeke was on a rookie deal. Okay? Dak and Zeke were on rookie deals. They went 13-3. They did nothing to add to those teams. They didn't sign anybody. Tell me, go all in when you change how you do business and you add to ensure a title team. That's going all in.
I like that 20,000-foot view. What I don't like is the way you're handling your camera. So we're going to take a break.
I'm sorry.
We're going to let Clarence work on his camera. We're going to get it all together, and we're going to have some fun. It's game show time on Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. You know we like to gamify it, and we will do that for you coming up next. Stay with us.
And now it's time for the Top 5, sponsored by the Fort Worth Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Welcome back to the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. Time now for the top 5. And in a nod to SMU Volleyball's incredible upset victory earlier in the week over number 2 Nebraska, we are looking at the top 5 biggest upsets in the 21st century for sports. We'll go down the line, one for each of you, starting with Joe. Rulon Gardner in the 2000 Summer Olympics in Sydney, taking down perfection. The Russian bear Alexander Karelin was the 3-time defending Olympic gold medalist. He was undefeated for 13 years and hadn't conceded a point in 6 years until Gardner took him down in the gold medal match. Joe, this one's yours. What do you think?
I think that's great. You in the Olympics, Andrew. We got to have a talk about that.
Oh, come on.
We got to have a talk about that.
I'm trying to diversify it.
No,
if I just flood this
do.
thing with college football, we'll get nowhere. Come on.
Well, we can talk golf. I mean, we can talk about Tiger Woods and Y.E. Yang.
Oh,
that wouldn't be bad. 2019. Tiger's 14 for 14.
Sure.
With the lead in the final round.
Yeah.
Pretty big upset. I mean, there's bigger upsets than that, though.
All right.
I'll give it to you.
Let's move on now. Number 4. Spurs fans will remember this one. Manu Ginobili in Argentina taking down Team USA in the 2004 Olympics. The first loss the U.S. suffered in international play since NBA players were allowed to compete. Clarence, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, you got to get out the Olympics.
I'm trying to diversify, man. Come on.
What about Seton Hall over Georgetown?
We're only 2 in.
What about Seton Hall over Georgetown?
What? Seton, okay, fair. I understand that. I'm saying, like, that's one tournament. This is literally the Team USA. They're taking down LeBron, Duncan, and the rest of them. Come on, guys.
What about NC State over University of Houston?
What about them?
Oh, don't bring that up. That brings back bad memories.
I did mention 21st century, so that's I didn't want to go back that far.
You did.
No, I mean,
yeah.
I think that was a big upset. I just don't think that we were excited. I just internationally, yes. I don't think it registered in America. I don't think that people
really
it doesn't resonate
team
as
in
much
08. I don't know about that.
It does not resonate as much.
I don't know about that one.
I don't think it resonates. I don't. I mean, I keep
that's because you spent time in San Antonio.
LeBron's was literally probably going to trend if it was around there. It was trending already. Anyway, we got to move on.
Nobody was crying about that.
We got to move on. Number 3, a bit of a cop-out because I didn't decide which of these two deserved it. UMBC and Fairleigh Dickinson both get the 3rd spot together, the only 2 16 seeds ever to win in the men's NCAA tournament. Aside from the obvious here, Saad, what do you think about this spot?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I think I guess for me a 16 seed, I mean it's an upset, but I feel like there are bigger upsets even in the tournament that I can recall. But I don't have a problem with either one of those spots being in the top 5. I'm just curious to see what your top 2 are if this is number 3.
Well, let's move on here. Clarence, I was already going to give you your victory lap, but you decided to take it a couple blocks early. So number 2, pays me to say it, App State taking down number 5 Wolverines on the road back in 2007, the original FCS upset. I'll hang up and listen to you, Clarence. What do you think?
Again, college football upsets happen all the time. I think App State went in and beat Texas A&M last year, the year before last, and that's what they do. And I think that people just didn't know. It's like when Fresno State was going around beating people, and Boise State was beating people, and way back in the day before your time when Florida State used to be an upstart, we go around and beat people before they became a real program. But yeah, that was a big win at Michigan. I don't know if it's number 2.
We'll get into this after I'm done with this list, but I want you to think about the one you would replace it with from the college football ranks. And there are a couple options that I kind of considered, but I only wanted one college football one in here. All right, last one. Last but not least, number 1, Eli Manning, David Tyree, Michael Strahan takes care of itself. The Giants ending perfection in 2007. Joe, wrap this one up.
Yeah, listen, I mean, since you made it 21st century, that's probably near the top. I mean, listen, we were all watching it. It's the Super Bowl. The way it played out, nobody had it going down that way. I mean, who would have thought that, Eli would have gotten 2 championships and his brother didn't have more than Eli. So, yeah, no, I don't mind that. I do wish you would have, made our window a little bit bigger. Right, so we could have included a little bit more.
No, I agree with that. Clarence, who did I miss?
I'm old, so I'm the 21st century, the 20th century. They all run together for me.
That's fair. Saad, anyone jump to mind for you?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the Patriots and the Giants. I think the Patriots and the Rams the first time, Tom Brady's first year as a starter.
Yes.
I think that was a major upset for them as well. So I think the Patriots have been on both sides of that coin.
It's weird because that kind of retroactively affects it in a way. Clarence, you were saying?
I do have one. Texas over USC in 2006, the Rose Bowl.
It's 1 versus 2. Hang on. The degree of difficulty here.
That was big.
It's the degree of difficulty is a little different. I love it. I just don't consider that an upset.
You're just getting Texas in again. It's all about UT.
and I would put in, if we're considering where the series went, I would put in the Warriors coming back from a 3-1 deficit to beat the Warriors, and the Cavaliers beating the Warriors in 2016. Yeah.
But considering how stacked those two teams were, again, the degree of difficulty is a little bit different. We could talk about this all night. Saad, Clarence, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. When we come back, Joe's final take. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. Before we get to Joe's real quick, I want to give my final take. They should have let Brandon Aubrey kick the 71-yarder. Joe, time for your final take.
My final take has to do with the mammoth contract for Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. I love it when good things happen to good people. Dak Prescott has been nothing but a fantastic person. He's got the right work ethic. He goes about it the right way. As one of his teammates said today, and they said it very eloquently, Dak Prescott did not cheat the game. He never has. And because he hasn't, he got paid more than anyone in the history of this game for it today. Now, bottom line is this, though. With all that money, becomes a lot of responsibility as well. So Dak Prescott, you have to elevate your game even more to take this franchise where it hasn't been in nearly 3 decades. It's been nearly 30 years, and it's on Dak because he's got all the resources you could ever want. All right, that's it for Ultimate Dallas Sports Show this week. Thanks so much. Great job, Andrew Cely. Way to set up the show. That was a blast. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Have a great weekend. We'll see you with more Cowboys content starting tomorrow.
This has been the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show, sponsored by your North Texas Chevy dealers. Together, let's drive.